Great. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening for our our first personnel committee meeting for the 2025-2026 school year. We have a lot of updates, good information, and I'm going to now turn it over to Tracy Gardner to get our meeting started.
Thank you. Let me share the screen here. One moment. Is my screen visible, Ms. Ivory?
Yes, it is. And if we could just confirm that the agenda has been placed in the chat, that would be great. Thank you.
It has been placed, and I'll put it again just in case anyone new just joined.
Thank you. You're good to go.
Wonderful. Thank you all for joining us this evening for the Personnel Committee meeting, September 25th, 2025. Our agenda will be as follows. It is in the chat, but the items that we will be discussing this evening: staffing, vacancies, pathways to teaching, contracts, and there will be some good news. So for our staffing updates, we have just wanted to let you all know that during the 24-25 school year, which was July 1 through June 30, we had 60 employees, both instructional and non-instructional, resign from employment for whatever reason. It could be for just a voluntary resignation, or it could be retirement. But we had 60 employees, both instructional and non-instructional, resign from employment. And some of the reasons that they cited were pay, lack of support from their administrator, lack of communication, their class size, and for SPED teachers, they talked about caseload, but also the lack of consistency and cohesion. On the flip side, for the 25-26 school year, we hired 36 employees. 8 are non-instructional, meaning they're secretaries, SSOs, or instructional assistants, and 28 are instructional positions, those holding certificates. And you'll see some of our new employees here. This was at new employee orientation last month. So beginning July 1st, 2025, we partnered with Kelly Services to supply temporary help, and they are helping us by providing substitute teachers, substitute secretaries, and substitute instructional assistants. Currently, we have 45 candidates that have been identified to fill temporary positions, again, teaching, secretarial, or paraprofessional positions, and 28 of those candidates are in various stages of onboarding because maybe they're missing one or more documents needed to be hired. Their background clearances, their Act 168 verification. The good news is for those that are going to be substitute teachers, Kelly Services is covering the cost of their emergency permits. So those employees, those substitutes, will not have to pay anymore for the permits because that is all being covered by Kelly Services. Are there any questions about the staffing updates, Ms. Ivory?
I'm going to ask if any board members have any questions. Open it up first. Okay.
I don't, thank you.
Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go to, I do not see any hands raised. So, Ms. Gardner, you can continue.
Okay. The next item is the vacancies. So good news is Ninth Grade Academy has 0 vacancies. We have Alden, Calwin, East Lansdowne, Evans, and Park Lane each have 1 vacancy, and then Ardmore, Bell, Walnut, Penwood Middle, and Penwood High School have 2 or more vacancies. And so you can see here, this is the list so far. Ms. Ivory, do you have any questions about the vacancies?
I do not have any questions, but I do see, oh, Ms. Hoff has her hand raised in regards. Ms. Hoff?
Thank you, Ms. Ivory. I was wondering if we could get the amount of students that are affected by the special education vacancies number at some point, please.
Yes, Ms. Hoff?
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Do we have any additional? Ms. Roberts doesn't have any questions. I do see a hand from Ms. Tax. Ms. Tax, do you have a question in regards to what Ms. Gardner just reported? If we can unmute her.
Hello.
Good evening, Ms. Tax. How are you? Oh, it looks like you went back on mute.
Hello. The PLC still has a vacancy in English. Was there someone hired? Or is it just not listed?
It's just not listed. And I apologize for the omission, but that is, it is posted.
Okay.
As
So
I'm
will
sure
it be-
you've seen the list. So it is posted, yes.
Will it be updated in this presentation?
I will do an amendment for next month, but I cannot amend this one because it's already been published. But I will
Oh,
make a note for the next presentation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Tax. All right. Just checking to make sure. I do not see any additional hands raised. You can continue, Ms. Gardner.
Okay, so in keeping with the priority 2 of the strategic plan, we're pleased to introduce 2 programs for employees who are interested in becoming certified to teach special education. There's the Paraeducator Certification and Accelerated Special Education Certification. So for the Paraeducator Certification, this is a program with DCIU, Luzerne IU, and Misericordia University, where our paraprofessionals have the opportunity to earn a bachelor's degree and also obtain certification in special ed. It is 100% virtual, and there's accelerated coursework, and it's at a reduced cost. And if the employees are eligible, it may be reimbursed via tuition reimbursement. So that will help also. But this is a great program for our paraprofessionals to move up and into the classroom. If they have any questions or anyone has any questions, there's the email here address where you can email certification program at liu18.org. For more information or any questions you may have for the Paraeducator to Certification program. The next program is Accelerated Special Education Certification, and this program is for anyone holding a bachelor's degree in any field. I like to call them our career changers. They have the opportunity to become certified in special education. So once they complete the program and the praxis tests, they will earn an instructional 1 for special ed pre-K to 12. And also, this may be reimbursed via tuition reimbursement. Again, for information or questions, send an email certification program at liu18.org. Are there any questions about the pathways to teaching?
I do not have any questions, Ms. Gardner. I'm just checking the chat. Do any board members have any questions? I do not see any hands raised. So Ms. Gardner, you may continue. I do not see any for panelists as well.
Thank you, Ms. Ivory. So in terms of where we are with contract negotiations, the WPA agreement expired August 31st, as you all know. We're currently in status quo while we continue to negotiate a contract that's fair and reasonable for all parties, and we anticipate a conclusion by the end of September. We are working hard, both the district and the union, to settle this contract. We know how important it is to all parties. So we are working diligently to get that done for you. With regard to supplementals, the fall and winter sports have been posted but not yet approved by the board, and all supplementals are being reviewed but may be adjusted. So please keep in mind that the supplementals, the issues surrounding supplementals have nothing to do with the contract. They're all around our budget crisis. So I understand what's been happening and the thoughts and feelings surrounding supplementals, but please know that it is not about the contract. It is about our budget constraint. For the ESPA contract, the members ratified an agreement, and that's a 5-year agreement. It's going to be in effect from July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2030. Some of the amendments included paid holidays. There will be no less than 15 paid holidays. There was no change in the healthcare contribution. Existing employees will receive an increase. And for those members, those ESPA members who are performing PCA duties at the direction of their administrator, they will receive an increase in pay for the amount of time that they are performing those PCA duties. Ms. Ivory, do you have any questions about contract negotiations?
I do not. I would just agree that we are working with the union to try and come to a resolution so we can have that contract complete and ready for the few following years. Do we have any other board members that have any questions? Let's see. I see. Okay, I do see someone in the chat. However, their name is not. If they could type their name so we can verify that they are who they are. We don't have a name. It's just an initial JP. So we're going to wait for them to adjust their name so we know exactly who is in the meeting. If they could correct that for us, that would be great. Other than that, I do not see any additional hands. Okay, I'll see Ms. Tax. I see Ms. Tax has her hand raised.
Hello again. Can you just explain what you mean by we're in status quo?
Status quo means that the conditions and the guidelines in the contract that expired are currently in effect until the new contract has been ratified and implemented.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Tax. I see a hand raised by, okay. I see another hand, John Simone. I apologize if I mispronounced your last name.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
We can, yes. Good
Hey,
evening.
I'm John Simone. I'm the middle school band director, and I was just wondering how the distinction was made for which supplementals to post. I saw sports were posted, but nothing else. So how was that distinction made?
So again, all supplementals are being reviewed and may be adjusted. We're not finished, so it may be coming. That's all I can let you know, but all of supplementals are being reviewed.
I guess just to clarify, why were the sports ones posted?
The sports supplementals were posted in the spring as all of the sports were posted And those decisions, those candidates were selected, but we had not moved forward because we were reviewing all of the supplementals. So in the spring, we had intentions on running everything, but again, because we've had concerns with the budget and the dollars, we had to pause for a moment to get in a position where we could have supplementals, and we are still looking to see which supplementals we're going to have. We are not finished.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. I see Ms. Hoff has her hand raised. Ms. Hoff?
I'm sorry. I think I would like to request a a meeting discussing just supplementals and how we move forward. I think we have to acknowledge that sports are running, band and academic specials aren't. So we're here now. I, as a school board director, want to understand if we're going to start basketball and not academics. So I think that there needs to be a little bit more conversation about this. And I don't know how much of it is tied up into the contract, but I think there needs to be a little bit more conversation about this, please.
Received, and I believe your request was received prior, so I believe that there is a meeting on schedule to have a discussion about it.
Right. Although that is an executive, and I think in this case I'm asking for a public conversation about it too. It doesn't have to be its own meeting, but I would like the public to understand more about supplementals, costs, and how this all looks.
Okay, received. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next I see we have Jason Beckley. If we can unmute Mr. Beckley, are you with us?
His mic is ready. He just has to unmute himself.
Okay. All right. Okay, next we're going to go to Miss Tax. You have a question. If we can unmute Miss Tax.
Hello. I have one more question. I was just listening when I asked what status quo was, and that says that we're following the contract we're already on. If we're following the contract we're already on, I'm confused. Like, are all the supplementals supposed to be posted then if we're status quo because it's in our current contract? Like, I guess I'm a little confused. I thought status quo is like staying the same. So if it's staying the same, wouldn't we proceed the same, like having all the supplementals, having all the electives, having all the stuff? I guess that's where I'm confused.
No, because if you read the contract, it doesn't say that all of them have to run.
Okay. What about the electives though, like in the PLC?
It
Like
doesn't say that
classes.
right, it doesn't all have to run.
So students don't have to have electives.
No, they have to have electives. I'm talking about really the band and the sports.
Oh, you're talking about the supplementals.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, the supplementals.
I guess, so just for clarification for everybody and myself, so we're not confused here. Status quo, we're keeping with the contract as is, but we're saying that even though all the supplementals are in the contract, we don't have to do all of them.
That is correct.
Okay.
And Ms. Tax, I would just like to reinstate what Ms. Gardner said earlier. The current situation with supplementals, although we are operating in status quo, Our problem is our budget crisis, and that's why the supplementals are being reviewed. It has nothing to do with the contract negotiations or anything. It's really all about where we are financially as a district. So that's why they're still under review, and that's why they're still rolling them out. They're just not rolling them out all at one time, if I'm correct, Ms. Gardner. Okay, thank you. I see we have a Robert Cherry. I just want to make sure. Robert Cherry, if we can unmute Mr. Cherry.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Good evening.
Hi, Mr. Cherry, elementary band director. So, in tagging on what everybody's saying, I guess my question would have been, why were sports prioritized over band, music, art, and every other academic one? I understand there's a budget crisis. I understand that, like, we got to be careful with the money, but it seems unfair that we were so easily able to go forward with some, but not with the others. I just felt like we should all been united together. Either we have supplementals or we don't.
Mr. Cherry, thank you for your question. I would not say that they were prioritized over anything else. It was really about the timing, because I said earlier, the sports were posted in the spring and the other ones had not. But after those the sports supplementals were posted, we had a timeline, but we unfortunately for the other supplementals, where we paused, did not allow for the other supplementals to get posted. But again, please understand that we're not saying that we are not going to run supplementals. We're reviewing which ones we will be offering. And again, it's all around the budget. It has nothing to do with the contract. It doesn't have anything to do with you per se, or, the activity itself. We're looking to see which supplementals are going to serve school operations and not interfere with school operations, and that can run within our budget.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Cherry. We just have two questions. I see we have two questions in the chat. Someone said, but if we are in crisis, how did football get approved? Can you clarify, has football been approved at this date, Ms. Gardner?
No supplementals have been approved by the board.
So at this stage, so anyone that is working, is it that they are working voluntarily at this stage?
At this point, yes, but again, we're working diligently to resolve this issue.
Okay. And then the next question was, can someone please clarify where exactly in the contract it states that not all supplementals need to run? I have the contract in front of me and I am not seeing it. Thank you. Also, who decided what supplementals were going to be posted in the spring, and what is the budget for supplementals at this time? Three-part question.
Okay, one at a time, Ms. Ivory, please. That was a lot.
Yes, okay. So can someone please clarify where exactly in the contract it states that not all supplementals need to run? I have the contract in front of me and I am not seeing it.
Okay, I will be happy to follow up and get that answer. I do not have the contract here in front of me for the exact page, but I'll note that and get that response.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, and the next part was also who decided what supplementals were going to be posted in the spring?
There was a timeline that we had followed in the past where supplementals got posted. It was an internal timeline. And so we had specific activities that were posted on this date, and we had a rolling timeline. And it was on that timeline, and unfortunately, where we paused, the other supplementals were not posted.
My apologies for the dog. I'm going to mute myself. And the last part of the question was, what was the budget for supplementals?
I'll have that answer for you when I have the page in the contract, the article. And I apologize for the lawnmower myself.
Thank you. My apologies. And then I see a question. We have Mr. Pardini has his hand raised. If we can unmute him, I'm here. I'm just going to go off the camera to calm my dog down. My apologies.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Pardini.
Perfect. I just wanted to double check. You talked about sports having been posted. Were the spring 2026 sports posted already?
I'm sorry, the lawnmower is, my lawn guy is outside. So I apologize
okay.
for that. I apologize for that. No, the fall and the winter sports were the only ones that were posted, but the spring 2026 were not posted.
Okay, so are spring sports in the same holding pattern where some of them may be canceled, like non-athletic supplementals?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pardini. Okay, so I see another question in the chat. Band is a fall supplemental that coincides with football. Shouldn't that have been approved? Shouldn't that have been posted early as well?
So again, we have the sports in the group, and then we have the other supplementals, the non-athletic supplementals in the group. Where we paused, the non-athletic supplementals had not been posted.
Okay. And another person asked for clarification. Are you saying the fall coaches are volunteering?
The supplemental activities have not been approved by the board at this point. So until the supplementals are approved by the board, there is no payment going out for anyone until the supplementals have been approved.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gardner. And we have some other questions. They're not relative to supplementals, but that's definitely questions. If you have any additional questions about budget and things like that, please join us at our board meeting on Monday, the 29th, as well as our budget meeting. Okay. I also see Mr. Beckley's hand is still up. I'm not sure if you're unable to unmute yourself, Mr. Beckley. Okay, he might still be having some difficulties.
He's unmuted. He just has to
Yeah.
unmute himself.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm going to circle back to Ms. Tax.
Hello.
Okay, Ms. Tax, you are muted again.
I don't know how that happened. Sorry. In May,
Okay.
we applied for fall supplementals. Some people got notifications that they were the coaches, some were not. I personally reached out to Leon, the athletic director. He said that he put my name up to be a coach. I'm just using me as an example. I went back and forth and sent several emails. I've checked with them a million times over, and this is why we are coaching, because we are under the assumption we have in writing that we were chosen as the coaches. So I just want clarification now. Are we volunteering or are we getting paid? Because that will make a difference. We're working in good faith that because we have things in writing that we will be compensated, because past practice is when fall sports happen, we don't usually get our contract till almost the end of the season, if not past. And then we get approved after basically the coaching of the season and get payment in November. So we've always worked this way. I've been in the district 21 years. This is probably my 8th or 9th year just coaching soccer. I've done other sports. So we've always operated as fall coaches that, yeah, we don't get the contract right now because we weren't approved until after the season, and sometimes, if we're lucky, in the middle. So I just guess I want clarification. You're saying we're not going to get paid, or we might not get paid?
Ms. Tax, what I said was, until you're board approved, there will be no payment. All payments have to be board approved.
Ms. Tax, thank you for that question for clarification as well. And I would apologize that happens, but we are doing everything we can to ensure that, everything is presented to the board in as timely of a fashion as possible due to what we are encountering currently. And we always look for new ways to handle this. So if you have any suggestions or ways in which you think you can help us improve this process, we are also willing to hear. You can email me, myself, as personnel chair, as well as any other board member, so we can try and come up with the best solution to improve the process. And that's the goal, to improve, to do
Totally.
better here than we have in the past.
Totally appreciate, but I wasn't finished. I just had a little piece. I'm looking back at the board minutes, and the football coaches were board approved. And I think we all applied the same time in May. So they did. I think they're the only coaches that got board approved. I'm just wondering, like, what is the difference? Like, you know what I mean? If we all applied at the same time, why we weren't all approved at the same time?
I would say, Ms. Tax, I'm not sure. I would say, Ms. Gardner, if we can look into that and review the contract, have someone review the minutes so we can confirm that. And then Ms. Tax, we can get back with you as a follow-up so we can make sure. Unfortunately, I will not be able to locate the board minutes that quickly to review, but we definitely will get back with you and follow up with that question, with your response to your question.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Moving on to good news. Chuck Taylor, who is a teacher at Penwood High School, is the winner of an Apple Watch. He participated in the district's preventative care campaign sponsored by the Delaware County Healthcare Trust, and he got the Apple Watch. So thank you for everyone who participated, and to enter the drawing, all they did was schedule a routine checkup. So congratulations to Mr. Taylor.
Congratulations, Mr. Taylor. Thank you.
Miss Ivory?
Okay, so
Ma'am.
I'm just reviewing the chat. The Q&A, I apologize. Someone is saying that they would like an additional meeting regarding supplementals. That is something that has been discussed, and I will chat with the board to see if that is something that we can convene. So that request has been noted. In regards to a few other questions in terms of what would happen if they are not approved and the season ends, in regards to pay, I'm assuming, I believe Ms. Gardner, anyone that is currently working, it's not that they will not be approved, it's just that it has not been presented to the board as of yet due to the making sure we are being financially responsible, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And see. I do not see any additional questions in the Q&A. Let me just check and see if anyone has their hand raised. All right, I see. Okay. I see Carla Scanlon. If we can unmute Ms. Scanlon so she can share her concerns.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted it to be noted that students that are in our virtual program are not receiving their electives at this time. And some of our high school students, that is what they need to move forward in their graduation path. So it's been a concern.
Ms. Scanlon, did you say for PLC that they're not receiving their electives currently?
Yes.
Okay. That will be reviewed and someone will, hopefully we will have information at our board meeting, but we'll work to try and get that information to find out what's going on at this time. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, I do not see any additional hands. And thank you, Mr. Pardini. He did say he saw that they were approved on April 26th, at the April 26th meeting. But we'll look into it further to try and figure out in terms of approval of coaching versus football coaching versus other football coaches. We will do our due diligence to find out information. And at this time, I do not see any additional hands or additional questions. I just want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. Any questions or concerns that you have relating to this topic, please feel free to email me in terms of how we can help as a board to come together and find maybe a solution to streamline this process and also ensure that all the staff members have this opportunity to coach or participate in supplementals. But if you have any thoughts and ideas, please share them. We do take the information and discuss it. And we will also be meeting on Monday. So if you have any questions in reference to that as well, you can please join us at our Monday scheduled board meeting. And then we will notify if we will have any additional meetings regarding supplementals. Okay. I see Ms. Tack's hand for one question. Ms. Tack, did you have an additional question in regards to supplementals? Okay, it looks like her hand has disappeared. All right, with the hearing none, we're going to conclude this meeting. Thank you everyone who joined us. Look forward to seeing you at our scheduled board meeting on Monday and our next personnel meeting in October, Tracy. All right, and thank you again. And again, please email me if you have any thoughts and concerns in regards to personnel. Thank you everyone and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.